thank you very much. How nice. Thanks very much. Let's get on with it. Good morning. How are you? Here we are, Hump Day, Wednesday. It's lovely to be here, and the format seems to be working. The whole live streaming thing, you know, we're getting there. And what I'm pleased about is that on a technical level, today is much easier. There's no guests. I don't have to worry about any of that. It's just an old school podcast, effectively, and that's quite a relief, I've got to say. We've had some great reaction. Good morning, everybody watching live on YouTube. Good morning, Emily, Steph, Una, Jem, Martin. Morning. Great reaction to Britain Awake with John Holmes yesterday. In fact, someone took the trouble to call in with a little bit of reaction to that. It's here.
Hi Jake, it's Gary Krill here.
Hi Gary.
I'm rinking up vis-a-vis John's reference to Jason and the Argonauts,
right.
1963.
Sure.
And now Mr. Harryhausen animated, amongst others, The Hydra. Now I've seen this on Pirates of the Caribbean ride, and if they can make Johnny Depp look like a lovable rogue, then surely they can make Cecil Rhodes apologise for his colonial exploits. I've also heard that the Cornish are fed up with people stereotyping them and become extremely anti-pasty.
Nice.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks very much, Neil.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Neil. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Neil. And goodbye. I think that's it. We always welcome your reaction. You can leave a voicemail now, particularly, you know, if there's any kind of like, you know, because we know what's getting traction now on the platforms, you know, the YouTubes and all the broadcast media is the quite strong rhetoric, you know, the anti-masking and the quite hardcore, it's not racist to say blah, blah, blah. Give it a go. Why not? 07862 032 654. You can leave a voicemail just like that caller did. 07862 032 654 on the WhatsApp, if you please. That would be really brilliant. Neil sent a link to the first ever retrospective of Bob Dylan's visual art. It's coming to the United States in the autumn, and what a treat that is. That's one of those sort of celebrity contrivances. Absolutely no artistic merit to it whatsoever. I mean, it's a matter of opinion, but I mean, you know, I think the thing about it is it's just mediocre, isn't it? If it was so bad, it was good. There might be some sort of pleasure in that, but there really isn't. And I don't know if you also saw that Fern Cotton has released her own line of wallpapers. Including some sketches of people doing yoga, like yoga poses. I'll say that I feel like the yoga one, which she says, I did it with a watercolor pen. Stylistically, that one's plausibly Fern Cotton's. What I will say is that watercolor pen is not her medium if you were to look at all the other designs, which display quite a high level of artistic competence. Anyway, you'll be delighted to know that there's more stuff out there. I found a great website called Blisters, and well, here's some of their stuff. Blisters, high-end, fresh-out-the-shipping container boutique is delighted to present a series of British-inspired, British-ordered tatware to pollute your home for approximately 3 years before becoming landfill. Presenting the Fag Packet Collection, a series of celebrity, faintly sketched-out ideas from the back of fag packets that you will ascribe an artificial sense of value to because the purported originator is on telly. It's Curtains for You by Ready Wit, lively raconteur and Tesco chanteur Alexander Armstrong. This stunning range of curtains and blinds features all of his favourite things, as doodled on the back of a crumpled packet of Super Kings in a club in St James. Designs feature a bad drawing of Giles Corran, a picture of a wheelbarrow full of money, and a touching self-portrait of Xander emptying a barrel into a hapless moorland grouse, something he's been very vocal about enjoying as an ambassador for the Countryside Alliance. Holly Willoughby's facial masks features a stunning range of gorgeous designs for which a professional designer was paid 200 quid as a buyout, while Holly has negotiated a perpetual royalty of 15% on retail price. The designs are a professional interpretation of a drawing of what transpired to be a daffodil, as scrawled hastily on the back of a pack of Rothmans in between photo shoots for some shoes and some dresses. And finally, the David Walliams Simply Me collection. We asked David what kind of contrived, mildly toxic garbage he'd like to staple his name to next, and what we got was a perfunctory picture of a stick man with an arrow pointing at it and the word me written on it, to which end several shipping containers of dolls of David are currently making their way to Tilbury Docks from Guangdong province in China, where their production has devastated much of the local aquatic life. Blisters, tat from B-listers, only available everywhere you lurk. Wonderful. It's good to know they're managing to look after the pennies there. I found this, and it's annoying because I had it all queued up and now it's reset itself. I don't know why it's done that. So it's going to be a little bit messy, this, while I try and find the right bit. But this is from when Zander was promoting his Christmas album, where he's answering any question. And I really like this question.
This one comes from Margot Milne. Margot, hello.
Hello. Yes.
If you could only do one of acting, presenting and music, which would you do?
Sort your levels
It'd
out.
be a really tough
Zander.
choice to make, but strangely, I think I would probably choose Pointless over and above everything else.
Because it's easy money. Because it's easy money, and you don't have to think.
I really do love making Pointless.
Because it's
such
easy.
Good fun to do.
And easy.
And there's quite a lot of comedy in Pointless. And
Is
if I
there?
weren't doing any other acting, I could probably put some acting into Pointless. You
Really?
know, how you could just smuggle it in. And, probably even smuggle some singing in.
Wow.
We have done in the past, in fact.
Yes, you have.
So, yes, I think probably presenting.
Yeah, I think probably Zander, because it really is money for old rope the way you do it. Barney says, for so bad art, try Pierce Brosnan's oil paintings. I will try to find a link. Yes! Also, was it Ronnie Wood in the Rolling Stones? He did amazing sort of Woolworths style, sort of airbrushed, kind of like composite pictures, with sort of, and it's all just him with guitars, and it was all very good stuff. That Martin says, I fitted a Dido rail in the drawing room. Dido, I wonder what Dido's doing right now. And Una says, and yet you can imagine Fern Cotton's massive tantrum if William Morris tried to play easy listening tunes and chat about nothing. The injustice. That's very good. Emily says, Pointless is hilarious. Yes, it is. Richard Osman is hilarious. So there you go. I just wanted to share that with you. Don't forget, you can always send us a voice message. Have I mentioned that before? You can WhatsApp Jake on 07862 032 654.
How do Jake and the Apostles? Having just been informed this morning that I have to self-isolate for 5 days, even though I've had both vaccinations and fully PPE'd whenever in public. I was just wondering if anybody can maybe think of any hobbies I can take up or anything I can do from inside the house without having to get anything from outside the house inside the house, if you know what I mean. E.g., I don't have a piano, so I can't learn how to play the piano.
Oh, but you could. But you could. That's Pablo. Thanks very much. If anyone's got any suggestions for Pablo, do let us know. It's nottoday@swanburst.com. If you want to email, that's nottoday@swanburst.com. Or it's @nottodaypod on Twitter. If you've got a suggestion for what Pablo could do, I would argue if you've got a piece of paper or even, an arm, you could always draw the piano keys on and sing the notes as they come. I'm just saying. Hey, we've had another one from trusted supplier Jem.
Hi, Jake. Further to your tap from B-listers feature, my antiques dealer has been on the line, and wondering whether you'd be interested in an origami swan folded by Top Gear's William Woolard.
Are you actually serious though? I'm prepared to believe almost anything there. Anyway, if you've got a suggestion for what Pablo could do, that'd be great. And speaking of antiques, I've started watching the Antiques Road Trip in the mornings on BBC Two. Really getting into it. Is that about my age? I think it might be. Or is it about the Israel-Palestine conflict? I can't fully tell. But yes, it's really important that with that whole conflict that we focus on how it affects me, isn't it? Neil says, Pablo, why don't you try upstairs bedroom fly fishing? I'm not sure what that. I don't know. Jane says, can you create something out of bodily fluff? Time to start collecting. I saw someone collect it once in a jar. It was kind of horrendous. And Jane says, my dad's a big fan of Bangers and Cash. It's quite good if you're into old motors. There you go. Anyway, yeah. Send your suggestions. 07862 032 654. Particularly, if there's a demonstration of something that you'd like to share. But anyway, it's Wednesday, and that means we're 24 hours away, or just under, from launching the inaugural musical made collectively. Although, I mean, I'm not being funny, but I'm doing the majority of the legwork on it. But taking your suggestions. God, it's a bit like whose line is it anyway? That John Sessions. Could I have a profession, please? Butcher. Thank you very much. And could I have a household object, please? Toilet. A toilet. Okay. Oh, what's this toilet doing in my butcher's shop? And scene. Thank you very much. Oh, improv. Anyway, I've had some idea. So Julie yesterday suggested something like a sort of a. She likes Oklahoma and was thinking a kind of a thing about London with the sort of the easing of lockdown. Could there be a kind of, hey, it's London, maybe in this sort of who will buy kind of thing. And I do love me a 1960s British musical, particularly the choreography. And I'm definitely hoping to work some of that in. And I quite like that sort of market, that sort of slowly populating marketplace idea. And I think there's a lot of fun to be had out of that. So I'm going to do that. And I was thinking about that, the sort of the easing of lockdown. But then this wild card came. I'm sorry, I'm smacking my lips. The burn is healing, which is great news. I got an email from Pat yesterday who said, following on from Julie's idea of an old London setting, how about the super creepy and strange story of Spring-Heeled Jack as a possible subject of those cobbled, fog-bound streets? I mean, Lubberduck, Cor Blimey, my jelly deals. That's the other thing, is I get to do my 1960s Cockney, which I do enjoy. Spring-Heeled Jack. So I looked into that. Never heard of it before. Absolutely mad story. Do you know about Spring-Heeled Jack? So it's a sort of folklore, urban myth thing from the Victorian era. The first claimed sighting was in 1837. And it did spread across London, but also the Midlands and Scotland a bit. But it sort of became a bit of a bogeyman thing. Apparently he could do these extraordinary leaps. He could leap 9 feet into the air. And he would leap from coaches and stuff. And he didn't really do anything. I mean, he accosted people, but he didn't really do anything, and gave lots of sort of housemaids and things the vapors, but didn't actually. It wasn't like too bad or anything. His appearance apparently was pretty terrifying. He had clawed hands. Some people said that he had like metal gloves and eyes that resembled red balls of fire. One report claimed that beneath a black coat he wore a helmet and a tight-fitting white garment like an oilskin, and people said he looked like the devil. He was tall and thin with the appearance of a gentleman. And several reports mentioned that he could breathe out blue and white flames. He's a whiz for getting a barbecue started. With sharp metallic claws at his fingertips. And at least 2 people said he was able to speak comprehensible English. I had a little look on YouTube, but to be honest, the videos I watched literally made me fall asleep. There's a sort of consensus that the police didn't take it very seriously at the time, but another video said yes, they did. They put on, they had more people on duty, on patrol. So anyway, I think I can work that in. So we might start in sort of present day London, but then we'll sort of time warp back. I'm not doing time warp. I hate that song. I really hate. I'm not a fan of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I'm sorry. Are you? Just can't get on with it. Then we're going to go back in time to Spring-Heeled Jack, and then we'll sort of come forward to the end of the horror. But some nice suggestions from some of them. Jane says, consider yourself vaccinated. That's good. Una says, sorry with a cringe on top. Darren simply says, I'm going up west with me jelly deals. And Martin says, please, sir, can I have some more AstraZeneca? Martin also says, Spring-Heeled Jack was no phantom raspberry blower of old London town. JVT, superstar, jabbing us with AstraZeneca. These are very good. Well done. But I can't, for copyright reasons, I can't do those. I've got to do something new. Jem says, so there's an opportunity for a version of Goodness Gracious Red Balls of Fire, or is that a bit too niche? And Alex says, I had a Spring-Heeled Jack monster in my pocket toy, but I think he was only worth 5 points. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't that monstrous. It was just the sort of thing. And Jane agrees, Rocky Horror is awful. It is awful, isn't it? It just feels a bit contrived. Is that? I don't know. And Martin says, the all rather mysterious podcast comprehensively solved the mystery of Spring-Heeled Jack. Right, I'm going to go and listen to that today. Thank you for that. That's a top tip. Barney says, I don't like Rocky Horror Picture Show either. The sitcom Spaced has a nice line about all students pretending to love it. Aha! I missed Spaced. I have a cultural black hole from 2002 to 2004. I was in the States and YouTube hadn't really been invented. And so I didn't see Spaced. I didn't see Black Books. I didn't really see the IT crowd. I missed a whole sort of thing that everybody references. So I don't have anything from any of that. Anyway, I think there's enough to be getting on with. I think I'm going to be okay with that. Darren suggests a country number, Dolly Parton style, Moderna Times. That's very good. Anyway, I've got plenty to be getting on with. That's for darn sure. I've started to write a few lyrics. And for patrons, I will stream some of the making of at some point later today. It's going to be a kind of minor key waltz thing. It's going to be like a that, only hopefully a little more in tune. Lock it down, lock down the town. That's the sort of refrain of the chorus of the... Anyway. Oh, God. Slightly excruciating, isn't it? Right. This has been fun. Thanks for being here. I hope to see you tomorrow. When, hopefully, all being well, a 4 a.m. finish, I think, I'll unveil the musical. Thank you for all your suggestions. Don't forget, you can watch tomorrow at 10 a.m. on YouTube. You simply have to go to www.youtube.com/nottodaypod. If you go there now and you subscribe, and then there's a little button with a bell on it. If you click on that, you'll get an annoying little thing popping up saying, Not Today Pod is live tomorrow. And then you don't have to remember. I hope I remember. See you tomorrow.
This has been a Swanburst Media production.